Hello everyone, it's me Linda. Welcome to my channel. As you can see here on my desk, I have chosen some more things for the giveaway that I'm having. And if you're going to do slow stitching, you need embellishments. So I have went through and picked out some things that I use when I slow stitch. So I just think that if you're going to have a slow stitching kit, you got to have some doilies. So I have included some doilies, all different sizes, and I tried to pick different colors so that you'll have a variety of colors to use. And so yeah, so I'll just show you quickly the doilies that I've included. I love these kind. I mean, you can stretch them out to be different different shapes. But I really like these oval shapes. I think they're just, I think, stretched out. I don't know. Maybe they were meant to be this way. I don't know. I got them this way. And I like them. So you get some of those. Just one big one and some small ones. And then these are very nice little doilies here. They're very thin. They're easy to cut apart and just use part of them, or you can use the whole thing. So they're nice to have, excuse me. And there's quite a few of those. Let me move these out of the way. And let's see, let's start over here. And then there's this size. And there's quite a few of those. And like I said, they're great for cutting apart. You can cut this off and use the trim, and then you'll have a flower in the center. So, you know, a lot of people already know this. I'm explaining it with the, I'm explaining it thinking that whoever's getting this just might not know. So that's for them, for the beginner. And then you get a few of these small ones here, which you can also cut apart and use just the center. And this is a square. That's good. There's only one of those, I think. And then there's two of these, which are lovely. They have the little raised up area in the center for a little bit of added interest. And here's some sort of flowers already. And a lot of these I cut from larger doilies, or, you know, off of larger pieces, and just did the work for you, really, because we all get larger things and then we trim them, you know, we cut them into individual pieces, because most of the time you don't need a big piece, you only need small stuff. And then there's the connectors that connect these together, and they're good for layering up and making, can't really see that one. Let's see, let's get one of these that's better color. This, so you can layer these and give yourself a center, and then put another one on top of there, and then add like a button or a bead or something. So they're good to have. I use those a lot. So that's all the doilies that I'm including. Let me get these out of the way so I can show you some other types of embellishments that you might want to use. And that is beautiful trims. Mine come from wedding dresses mostly. I've bought probably 6 or 7 different wedding dresses, and I cut them apart and use the beautiful trims off of those and the embellishments that are on them. And here's another one. And these don't have to be used big like this. You can trim these up. The only thing you have to remember is that if you look on the back and you see little threads where all these sequins and pearls are sewn on, you need to take some glue and glue on there and let it dry before you trim them so that your beads and stuff don't fall off. And if I'm not making any sense, you can find videos on YouTube of people showing exactly how you do it. I'm not taking the time to do that. Now this is from a vintage wedding dress, and it's just beautiful. I love this. And of course it's got the threads on the back where the beads and stuff were sewn on. So anywhere you're going to cut, you just need to make sure that you put a little glue, some type of glue on it before you cut it. And here's another pretty applique. Here's one that's plain. It doesn't have any beads on it, but it's beautiful applique anyway. And this is another one, very similar but different, that has no beads. So they don't all have beads and sequins. This is a beautiful piece. Look at this one. Isn't that one beautiful? It is so pretty. It's almost like, it feels like it's, I don't know, it's not like this. It's more like embroidered. And because of that, you can trim this one. There's no, well, there is on these. There's a little bit right here. But if you just look on the back, you'll see what you can trim safely without losing your beads and sequins. And let's see, is there anything else before we get to this big one? This is just a big piece of trim along the bottom of a wedding dress. It's gorgeous. It has all kinds of I know the lighting is not good today, and I don't know why. The sun is shining, but the lighting just doesn't seem to be that good. But I'll pick it up so you can see how beautiful that is. Isn't it just gorgeous? So pretty. So there's that. So you'll get some beautiful, fancy things to use. And then you'll need some buttons. So I've included a few buttons. I didn't put a lot in here, but I tried to give you an assortment. Like, this is these are some old vintage buttons here. And I know there's a few more. There's quite a few vintage buttons in here, but that's not a vintage button. Anyway, there's some. There's two there for sure. These are some pretty buttons that I just cut off of something not too long ago, so they're not old. I thought these might be fun to have. These just say handmade with love, and they're wooden buttons. And I don't know where they came from. Probably Temu or somewhere like that. So I've included some of those. And these are just little buttons that I think I got from the Dollar Tree a long time ago. And these are good if you want to make like a little button gardens. They're fun to have these type of buttons for that. So there's some of those. Then there's a lot of these little, I just have a jar that has a lot of white buttons in it, and I pretty much just took some out of that jar. And these are like a, I don't know, maybe like a faux mother of pearl. I don't think they're actually mother of pearl, although I bought them as mother of pearl from someone on eBay, but I don't think they are. A lot of times you get took when you buy that stuff, and this is back when I very first started, and I wanted some mother of pearl buttons, and I went on there. They certainly are, they certainly have the same kind of a finish on them, but I really don't think they are. And I'll tell you why. I'll show you why. And I may be completely wrong. I might not know what I'm talking about, which is not wrong, because I don't always know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I just make up stuff, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, this is an old vintage button here. And this is one. And that's one. And that's the other part of it. I just left the string in it. I didn't take it out. That's the other. It's a vintage button. It's made out of the same stuff. They got different designs, but you can see when you look at them, they have the same type of material they're made out of, whatever you want to call it, finish or something. Anyway, there's a lot of old buttons in here. Nothing, you know, spectacular, but you can tell the difference between the old and the new. These are, see the back of this? That's a shell button. And it's been painted and I think baked, because what happens to them is they kind of curl up a little bit when you, I think when you put the heat on them, it kind of makes them curl up. But they're very, very pretty shell buttons. And this is another shell button. This one is not. This is the original finish on it. You can see how it shines like iridescently or whatever. I don't know. Not really iridescently. I don't know. Iridescent color, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, those are shell buttons for sure. I guess what these are called is not shell. They're called mother of pearl. That's what these are that I had bought from eBay. Mother of pearl. I think there's a difference, because it does shine like pearl, but I really don't know. I'm not going to say, because I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I know that these are linen buttons that I bought from Germany. There's two of those. And then here's two of the glass buttons that I have in my stash. These are very old and very pretty. And they will break if you drop them on the floor. And then the rest are just they're just buttons. They're just buttons, that's all I can say. Here's another little shell button. It doesn't have as much of a reflective or beautiful pearly finish on the front, but you can tell it's a shell button from the back. When you see the little marks on the back, then you know that you have shell button. Okay, so there's the buttons. Oh, and I was going to show you, for those that might not know, that if you take a button, let me get one out, and you stack up your doilies, however way you want to stack them up. I like to use different doilies. And just put a button in the middle. Makes a pretty flower. So, I do apologize for the light, because I have a feeling that it's not very good today. I don't know what is wrong with it, but The sun is shining because it's right here, but I think the light, at least in my monitor, the light looks bad. So anyway, you can make some pretty flowers with your stuff that I've given you here. You have enough to make some pretty flowers to start with. You know, once you get a little start of your own, then you can go out and add to it. So, but I know that it's everything that you need to get started, except for, and I'm going to put these in here too, some threads. You will need thread, right? And I will give you the bobbin cards to put them on, but I'm not going to, because some people don't like to put their threads on bobbin cards. They just, and I'm definitely not giving you every color that you need, but you will get the pretty much the basic colors that you could use until you wanted to. And these are mostly DMC, not expensive, but it's what I prefer to use. Now I have so many of the specialty threads and flosses. I have tons of floss and that I've bought from different expensive places, and they just sit in a drawer and I don't use them. I sometimes will use some yarn or some wool, but it's not very often. I almost always go to 6-strand DMC floss. It's just what I like to use. Everybody has their own preference. I'm giving you my preference, and then you can figure out your own preference later. But I'm gonna put some threads in. I tried to get some different colors, some more colors, but I went to Walmart, and Walmart does not have, at my Walmart, most of the time the little sections are empty. They just don't have them. Anything, they're sold out. So if I get anywhere to get some more before I'm ready to ship this out, I'll add some more to it. Otherwise, you'll get these colors, and this is enough to get you started until you can go and get some of your own. So there you go. So did I leave anything out? No, not for this video. So I think I'll have one more video, maybe two, I think one, before the drawing. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I hope that you'll take care, be happy, be safe, be well, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye for now.